Well, Coach Odin Katash let us in a little secret. Coaches don't often do that. He said, look, we're going to play a smaller lineup tonight, so we've got that to look forward to as we commence the 40 minutes of action here. Just 5 games to go, including tonight in the regular season. So both of tonight's teams can wind up what's been a difficult campaign for both of them. Here's the game center. Paris played on Tuesday night. They beat Milan. You can see Olympiacos are playing against their sister club, Crvena Zvezda, in Piraeus. Monaco, Fenerbahce, what a game that is. Both of those teams in the top 6. Maccabi Bologna, Baskonia, Bayern to come. And here's how the table looks. So we've got a basement dwellers battle here as Maccabi sit in 16th position, 1 place above of Bologna, who sit in 17th. And there's just, quite frankly, not enough games to get both of tonight's 2 teams into the play-in picture. Remember, the top 6 teams qualify for the playoffs outright. 7, 8, 9, and 10 grab the play-in games. And what a dimension the play-in has given to postseason play for the Euroleague. It was new last year. So for many, many teams, unfortunately not tonight's 2 teams, they still have a lot to play for as they vie for one of those coveted 4 spots, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Remember, Maccabi will play in front of effectively what is a empty stadium. There'll be a few Maccabi fans banging around, but for basketball enthusiasts amongst you, you get to hear the inside of the game tonight. You'll pretty much hear every voice in the arena. Here's the lineup for the visitors. Bellinelli comes back into the lineup. He missed last week. And Will Clyburn is supposed to play tonight. There he is, the number 8, after a couple of months' absence. So Clyburn, see how many minutes he gets on the floor from the coaching staff. We'll take a look at some of the key players. First, for the visitors, Isaiah Cordinier, the French international, played in the Olympics this summer in front of a home crowd. France coming up short against Team USA. Cordinier was a feature of that French team that claimed the silver medal. He's in his 3rd EuroLeague season, averages 12.9 points per game, as you can see there on your screen. He's the 2nd leading scorer on the club, second to Toko Shengelia. Matt Morgan, the American, in his 1st EuroLeague season. He played for the London Lions in the Euro Cup last year. Got noticed, got in the shop window. He averages 8 points per game in 18 minutes for Bologna. Across the midcourt stripe now to take a look at the Maccabi team. They will be without the services of Levi Randolph, Hasiel Rivero, and both of those players will not feature tonight. Roman Sorkin, Jokubaitis, Will Raymond, Jalen Horde also a scratch. So it's a thin lineup for Coach Katash. No wonder he said, we're going to go for a smaller lineup. He doesn't have a lot of choice. Well, the key players here from the Maccabi team. Trevian Williams, he started this season with Alba Berlin. He came over in December in round 18. Last year in the Euro Cup, he was a 1st-team selection, and he led the Euro Cup in rebounding, 10.8 rebounds per game. Here's his front court mate, Roman Sorkin. Sorkin in his 4th EuroLeague season. He is having his best season by a long stretch. 12.7 points per game. His lifetime average is just 7. So he's certainly growing in stature here with the club in his 4th season. All of them in the Euroleague with Maccabi Tel Aviv. He had 18 points last week in the win over Monaco. On the left, Will Raymond. He's a real grinder. He'll work his socks off. The man from New York City has played 28 games for Maccabi, just 11 minutes per game and 2.5 points. On the right, the veteran Toko Shengelia in his 12th EuroLeague season. He's 12th all-time in scoring in EuroLeague history, 3,441 points, and he's having a great year this year despite the fact that his club are struggling. Shengelia posting 16.2 points per game, good enough to be in the top 10 in scoring. Well, here's how the teams have fared so far. As you can imagine, some of these numbers will be very low. Look at that Bologna, just 31% from behind the arc. They sit 17th in the league. And points against, Maccabi 17th. They're the second worst defense in the league, but I tell you what, they're winning games. In the last 3 games, just to take a look at their results, they beat Fener right here, 94-76. Then they went on the road to Lyon, beat Asvel 102-95. Then back here for Monaco, which they won 91-88. So they're just gonna outscore you, as you see the record between tonight's 2 coaches. As far as the clubs are concerned, this is the 8th ever meeting. Maccabi with 4 wins, Bologna with 3. And some of the players will know both of these clubs, including Ante Zizic, who played for Maccabi previously in his career. Well, Liam Canning with you tonight. So glad that you are with us. The days are getting a little longer. Spring is upon us. We're getting to the business end of the Euroleague competition. 5 games remaining. And again, for tonight's 2 teams, it's a matter of pride. And they'll have something to say in who's going to get the top spots. Obviously, tonight's game won't necessarily have any bearing. But for Maccabi, Panathinaikos come here next week. They go to Anadolu Efes. Then it's Bayern here. Then they're in Piraeus. So all 4 of those remaining teams for Maccabi are in the playoff picture. And Maccabi, as we said earlier, are getting better. As for Bologna, who come onto the floor right now, well, they're on the road a lot. They're right here in Belgrade. Next week, they're back in Belgrade against Crvena Zvezda. Then they're in the German capital. Round 33, it's Milan. They're arch rivals in Bologna. It doesn't matter what position you are in the table. That's your arch rival, and they finish at Barcelona. Bologna make their 7th appearance in the Turkish Airlines Euroleague. They are 2-time title holders. They won their first title back in 1998 when they beat AEK in Barcelona. In 2001, they beat Baskonia in 5 games. Manu Ginobili was the MVP. As for Maccabi, they are 6-time Euroleague champions. One of those titles back in 1981, they claimed over Bologna. They beat the Italians in Strasbourg in that year. The first title was another Italian club. They beat Varese in 77 right here in Belgrade. 2001, it was Panathinaikos that fell to them. 2004, Bologna again, that time in Tel Aviv. 2005, they beat Baskonia, and then most recently, Maccabi lifted the crown in 2014. They beat Real in Milan. What a game that was. Tyrese Rice was the star for Maccabi in 2014. Maccabi make their 24th appearance in the Turkish Airlines Euroleague. They have been ever present in this competition. And obviously, with the political landscape such that it is, they've had to make the Alexander Nikolic Hall their home away from home last year and this year. And we must tip our hat to the basketball community in Serbia who've welcomed the club here and facilitated for them to carry on with their season. It is a basketball crazy city. As you see, the club's president is always traveling around with them. And again, a few fans just sort of scattered there at center court. Most of them will be in support of Maccabi. And if you haven't seen Maccabi the last few weeks, you're gonna be impressed. They are playing super basketball. They move the ball well. They execute their offenses really well. Maybe they're just, you know, finding their stride just a little bit too late in the season. You can see it's the 25th anniversary edition of the Turkish Airlines Euroleague. We are on the road to Abu Dhabi for the first time ever in the history of the competition. The Euroleague will decide its champion outside the continent of Europe. And we're getting closer and closer to the playoffs. 5 games in the regular season still to come. That young lady doesn't look too interested yet. Mom's doing her best. But there you go. What could be better? Thursday night, you got good seats, and you're watching Turkish Airlines Euroleague basketball. Well, You can see those fans are checking out the Turkish Airlines Euroleague website as we check out the starting five. Clyburn right into the starting five. Hasn't played in a couple of months. It's Cordidier and Hackett in the backcourt. Clyburn at the three. Shengelia at the power forward. And Eti Zizic, who used to wear the colors of Maccabi, starts in the center spot. Here's the smaller lineup for Coach Katash. It'll be Jokubaitis and Tamir Blatt, the native Israeli, in the backcourt. Sorkin, Raymond gets a nod to start, and Trevian Williams at the center spot. So there's your starting five for both of tonight's two teams. Maccabi will be in their characteristic yellow uniforms as we see our combined officiating crew tonight. They've made the journey around the continent of Europe. 18 teams from 9 different countries and 15 cities all grace this competition. We are so glad that you're here with us tonight. If you're kind of zipping between the games, Olympiacos are at home in Piraeus against their sister club, their peer club, Crvena Zvezda. Remember, Filip Petrushev technically is an Olympiacos player, is on loan with Crvena Zvezda, playing in his native Serbia. And Monaco are hosting Fenerbahce. That's a clash amongst two teams at the top of the table. So remember, the 6 top teams go straight into the playoffs. And then 7, 8, 9, and 10 grab a play-in position. There's Roman Sorkin. And he's saying, listen, this season, let's just keep it rolling. I'm having my best year. Maybe it's a contract year for him. So Bologna will come out in their stylish black uniforms. And if you look closely, I'm not sure where you get it, you can see that there's 4 Fs. The shape of those graphics on their uniform, the 4 values of the club. It'll be Zizic against, and so they're gonna go on and win this one. They'll win the head-to-head between the two clubs. They lost by 7 in round 8, did Maccabi, but they win tonight comfortably.